So when we were looking for treatment, because we went through the whole denial and appeal process, Cure SMA was the first group of people, our Pennsylvania chapter, that helped me out. They got back to me right away. They were writing me people to contact and, you know, how to get the whole treatment process moving along. So that was my first encounter with Cure SMA. When he first got diagnosed, we got the care package and all of that stuff. But my first time talking to someone was when we were looking for treatment, and they were so helpful. I remember saying that I wish I reached out to these people sooner, because those women were really, really helpful. When you get this, you feel very alone. Being able to meet other people just in our area, me and my husband, Mike, as new parents, just being able to hear that there's other people, other families like us, has been huge for us. He loves the playground. We're conquering the slide right now, walking up there and going down himself. He was terrified of that for a while. And he's 2 years old, so he's a wild toddler, but it's awesome. I never thought I'd get to say that. It's awesome. It's wild.
I'm a junior at Seton Hall, majoring in computer science with a minor in math and data analytics. Ideally, I would love to be like a video game designer. So that's why I decided to do computer science, but I'm also getting into like cybersecurity. I started homeschooling because I would get sick a lot and I would end up missing just about the entire school year. In my head, I was like, wow, I get to sleep in, I get to play video games the whole day, and then just have school for like an hour or two. Like, yeah, why not sign me up? But, you know, you don't really think about all the other aspects that you're missing out on, like the social aspect of it all. But going to college, completely different story. I made a bunch of friends. I joined some clubs, got my own podcast. I have a job as a peer advisor, so I'm like a mentor to the incoming freshmen. I made it one of my like personal goals after, you know, being at home for so long that I'm not just gonna let myself sit back and like, you know, not be involved. Going into it, I thought it was gonna be like really hard to like make friends in college, but like it's really not. Like you make friends without even trying to make friends. Whether that's like from classes and like different study groups, you really just have to be yourself, and the people that will be your friends, they'll find you. For the first time, I lived on campus by myself, so I got my first little taste of independence. It was tough to convince my parents to let me like move out and, you know, do all that, but honestly, it was probably one of the best things that's ever happened to me.
I was born and raised in the Bronx, New York, and I was diagnosed at 3 years old. And the doctor said that by the age of 15, I'd end up in a wheelchair. I guess back then they didn't know that there was different types of SMA, because I'm 45 now, so I was born in 77. Then I found out, you know, speaking to some people at Cure SMA, that since I stopped walking at 22, I'm technically a type 4 because that milestone was I walked into adulthood. Since I didn't end up in a wheelchair until I was 22, so prior to that, I really didn't feel or look like quote unquote disabled. I never really tried finding any community or getting involved any type of way because I wasn't affected as much, I guess. But like I would say within the last 5 years, I've had this yearning to get connected with the community and get more involved and just get more information and bring more awareness. As soon as I got involved, first thing I did was I hadn't gone to my neurologist in over 12 years because I was just tired of going and getting the same answer. Like it was discouraging all those years with no treatment. But then once I heard about, you know, Spinraza coming out and then Evrysdi, I was like, wow, this looks like this could be something positive. Let me look more into it. So that's why I got really more involved with it. So I saw my doctor earlier this year in February. I got approved for Evrysdi in March. And I also started physical therapy at the end of March. So with the therapy and the Arisdi, I just feel amazing. I feel incredible. I was able to stand up for the first time in 23 years with a stander machine because all the intense stretching that I was doing with my therapist. But over the years, I've always been really creative with keeping my body flexible and stretching on my own with my wife and our two kids. So I was able to maintain that for the most part. So I was super excited. I was able to stand up for my goal was 23 minutes since it was 23 years. So I stood up for 23 minutes. And then I stood up for 30 minutes, then 45 minutes. And so my goal is by the end of this year to be able to stand up for an hour. But after I did all of that with the neurologist and the Arisdi and the therapy, I also attended my first walk and roll in Miami. Then I went to the conference. And through the conference, I guess some people within the Cure SMA organization started looking into me and seeing all the things that I'm doing, outside of SMA. So I'm a speaker. I'm a corporate speaker, motivational speaker. Back in 2017, I had written a book and it became a #1 bestseller. And I was already speaking at that point. I just recently heard about Cure SMA. I was searching for a SMA community and I went to the conference, met so many amazing people. Was super excited to see what Cure SMA is doing for the community and just for, finding a cure and research, and just everything that the conference had to offer was amazing.